Hey, it's B2 with the BT, Phillip out on GP Review. Let's get right to it. I know it looks weird, but listen, my roommate is sick upstairs and she's trying to sleep and I talk loud, so that's why I'm in the garage freezing my ass off for you people. I do this for the people. Anyway, let's get right to it. Phillip Island's one of the most beautiful racetracks I've ever been to, but you gotta move it. On a great day, I don't think it can be beat. Magellan and Phillip Island, to me, that I've been to, they can't be beat, but maybe Phillip Island on a great day is the most beautiful racetrack ever, but here's where Magellan's better, is that in Magellan, if it gets bad in Magellan, it just rains. You still can race. But Phillip Island, I mean, come on, you got the bad weather, you got the wind. I mean, it's like having a Ferrari in Williston, North Dakota. Exactly. It's not going to reach its full potential. And that's what that's like. You can't reach your full potential in Phillip Island. You got the wind. And that track takes grande cojones. And to have wind and that schizophrenic ass weather, I mean, come on, man. You're doing everyone a disservice. The riders, the people that pay money to go see that shit. You got to move it. But the same people that control Phillip Island GP also control F1. And we know how that goes. So anyway, let's get right to it. Moto3, those young boys, they listen. What they went through, especially Danny Holgado, he gets my balls of the weekend. That dude had a high sight on a sighting lap. He was bleeding, but he still stuck it out and got some points. Props to him. Rider of the race in Moto3. I'm going to have to give it to, rider of the race in Moto3. I kind of got to give it to, listen, I don't give a shit. It's my thing. Adrian Fernandez. Adrian Fernandez gets rider of the race and heartbreak. Hear me out. Rider of the race because what he did as a fill-in, he almost had the race won. He crashed, but he still finished fifth. He's still finishing the points. Man, props to that dude, but heartbreak because he coulda, shoulda won that. But anyway, so he gets my heartbreak and rider of the race in Moto3. And hey, I don't know if Sasaki heard what I said, but you see what he did. So props to Sasaki for, hey, showing major grande cojones and getting a runner-up. I mean, listen, I know Matt Burke and everybody was giving him shit for letting Hanchu come through. Hanchu, God bless you. Listen, if you got a crazy-ass Hanchu coming in, that crazy Turk coming in, you know he wants to win. He's not in the championship. He ain't got nothing to lose. Hey, I gotta let him go too. Get the points. And here's what I really think is going to happen. I just think Sasaki is going to just, try to get podium, and then it comes down to the last race of the season. My light just went out. And when it comes down to the last race of the season, hey, win it in Valencia, a la Maverick Vinales 2015, which was a great race anyway. So that's what I see. Props to Sasaki for, hey, showing some cojones on that one, okay? Moto 2. Rider of the race goes to Tony Arbolino. That dude, let me tell you something. Looked like he was out of it. And what he did and how he did it, props to him. He gets rider of the race. I love Tony Arbolino. You gotta love Tiger Tony. Heartbreak goes to, believe it or not, Alonso Lopez. Alonso Lopez was leading the race, and then he high-sided, and luckily everybody missed him in the bike. How, I have no idea. Hey, he's got 9 lives, now he's down to 8. Props to the rest of the field. Hey, Pedro, I don't know why people hate on Pedro Acosta. Pedro Acosta, okay, granted, he crashed on a sighting lap. A lot of people crashed on a sighting lap. But what he did, how he picked through the pack, props to him. And listen, you need Pedro Acosta because, listen, I don't know, people are fans of Motogp or they just have their favorite riders, okay? And so you see what happened when Rossi left. A lot of people, kind of in and out with GP. I just love GP. I love the racing. So you need Pedro Acosta. He's that new group coming up. As far as new riders coming up, you got Pedro. And Pedro even said it. If you watch the interview that Fran Wild did with Pedro Acosta, this kid gets it. He gets it. He goes, people want to see battles. They want to see celebrations, and that's what they want. And he's going to bring that to them. So you want Pedro Acosta to be good. And I really think this new crop coming up is going to be really good. So props to him. MotoGP. Let me tell you something. I got to get right to it. Props to Johan Tight Shoes Zarco for getting that victory. I said it before, I say it again. When that team was first assembled, he and Martin, looking at the pics, I like, they were loving Martin, and they were like, oh, we got Martin and this guy. And I just felt, even from the pictures, they weren't all on board with the Zarco. So props to Zarco for doing what he did. Heartbreak goes to Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin chose his tires like Will Smith chooses a wife. Mistake. Listen, he did. I mean, his tires were like Jada Pinkett Smith. It was like, I didn't really want to go with the soft. The softs weren't really my first choice. I really wanted to go with the mediums, but because me and the mediums were like soulmates. But I went with the softs because I just wanted to take off fast. But the mediums, they were like my soulmate. They were like my Tupac. Anyway, Martin did it. But he went for it, and that's what you want your riders to do, is to go for it, and that's what he did. He went for it. I mean, to have a 7 second with a 7 second lead, and then it went from 3 to 2.7 and 1.8, and it was almost like a horror movie with Martin. He had to be like, you know, like when Jason's after you and you get in the car and it doesn't start, that 2.8, 1.7, 1.4. Uh-oh, he's here. Axe in the middle of the forehead, and that's what happened, man. But you got to give it to Martin. He did go for it, and the greatest thing about, I kind of love when Zarco passed. It was like, I told you went with wrong tires. You should have went with the mediums, and then he won. I thought that was beautiful. Let me tell you something. People don't give Pecco Bagnaia the credit he deserves. You know what Pecco Bagnaia is? You guys remember Muhammad Ali? He had the rope-a-dope. Remember when he fought Foreman? He let the fighters, you know, like tired themselves out. He just put his guard up, and they tired themselves out, and Ali would come alive. And that's what Pecco's doing. Pecco's like, yeah, go ahead. Guys, see how fast you are. Damn, you fast, bro. And he just paced himself. He took care of his tires like a mama takes care of a little baby, you know? He just nursed it and nursed it. And he just wait. He don't let you get too far ahead, but he just nursed it. And it's the Pecco-dope. He's got the Pecco-dope. He let Martin just run them tires ragged, and then like the last 3 laps, like, all right, time to race. And by then, it was done. It's the Pecco-dope, and that's what it is. Pecco Bagnaia manages tires. He and actually Enea Bastianini manages tires almost the same way Pecco does. They just nurse them, and then at the end of the race, they start getting a little bit faster, They find their rhythm. They don't let you get too far ahead. And then when it's time to race, it's on like Donkey Kong. And that's what Pecco Bagnaia did. Give him the credit he deserves. Give that man the credit he deserves. Watch for the Pecco-dope come the next 3 or 4 races. Listen, no matter what happens in Thailand, Pecco's still going to be leading the championship. He's got a 27-point lead. And basically, Martin's going to have to win the next 2 races. And here's where it's interesting. This is where you go to Zarco. If I was Pramac, you go to Zarco, go, listen, I know you're leaving next year, but listen, we'll give you a bonus. We'll give you partial ownership of the Eiffel Tower. We'll even take back the Statue of Liberty from the United States. But listen, just do what you can to get in everybody's way. And he'll be like, I'll do what I can, but, you know, I mean, how much is it worth to you? And you give him whatever he wants. I mean, because he could be a good buffer. Let Zarco go old school, Moto 2 Zarco, Moto 3 Darren Bender, Moto 3, Moto 2 Jeremy Acoba. Just get in people's way. Just be an asshole, basically, for your man to win. You know, like I said, you got to treat this kind of like the Tour de France. Let Zarco be the lead out, let him get in people's way, and let Jorge Martin, hopefully he chooses the right tire. You know, don't choose Jada Pinkett Smith. Choose somebody that's going to be there for you, who really wants you. And what he's going to do, choose the tires that's really going to want you. And you can win that race and have Zarco get in people's way. And like I said, I mean, Pecco's not going to have a teammate. No offense, but the beast is the beast. And I personally, I just don't think none of that Ducati is really on board with the beast, because the beast is, of all the Italian riders, he's the one that's most different. Think about it. He's not a Rossi dude. He lives someplace different. You know, like, remember when Pecco was going for the championship and they wanted Bagnaia to be a team man, and he was kind of like, hey man, I'm going for the championship too. I mean, right? He's like that boy band member that's off to the side like this. And you go, oh yeah, he's definitely going solo. And that's what Bagnaia is. So I can't see Bagnaia helping him. So like I said before, I say it again. Luca Marini is a great teammate for Bezzecchi, but I think Bezzecchi's too far out. Bezzecchi's got to run the table and get a lot of help. He's got to run the table, and Pecco and Jorge Martin have to not finish races. So I can't see Bezzecchi winning, but hey, you never know. It's Motogp. So anyway, that's what I see it. Also, see, like I said, man, I just love what Zarco did. Give him props, give him credit. I mean, tight shoes, it was like, you know, no one gave me credit. I wasn't believing in myself. And then, you know, it opened up for me, and I got a chance to win the race, and I'm very happy. Oh, can I get some bigger shoes? It was great seeing Zarco. It really was. Props to your hand, tight shoes, Zarco. I'm glad you did it. I want to see him. I'd like to see him with Repsol Honda, but he says it probably ain't gonna happen. He'll probably get LCR. But listen, before I get out of here, props to Fabio DG Antonio. That's how you put out a job resume. You see what he did? That was beautiful what he did. Props to that kid. He know he's out of that team, but he still balls to the wall. What he did was incredible. Props to Fabio DG Antonio. He would have been my rider of the race if it wasn't for Zarco. That's what makes GP so great. Seeing these guys, how much they care and they cry. So props to DG Antonio, what he's doing. And also, he could be a good teammate also for Jorge Martin, but I doubt he's going to do it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's how, yeah, I touched on everything like I wanted to. Now they move on to the Thai GP. Hey, Martin has to win it, but regardless, Pecco and the Peccadope, watch what happens. Even if it's a rain race like it was a couple years ago, we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's me. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it took so late to come up, but it was a weird, it was a weird GP or whatever. I had to wait till Sunday to see. You know how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and on to the Thai GP. Until then, you know the word. Bye.